Hey guys, welcome to the next episode of the 1966 GT6 behind me, which we're restoring in the Rusty Beauties shop. And this is episode, I don't know, a lot, 56 or something like that. And in the previous episode, we finally split the body from the frame. So the frame is over there with the engine, has a little bit of work that we need to do on it, but it's pretty solid, so I'm not worried about it. But today we're gonna start working on the bulkhead here, because we've done a lot of repairs here on the side, a lot of repairs inside. Here we replaced floors and stuff, but we left the bulkhead to be repaired after we take it off the frame, which we did. So now I'm gonna just go ahead and strip all that completely. Now we're gonna remove everything. We still have this voltage regulator, which is not used anymore. As you can see, all the wires have been disconnected and they've been somehow bypassed here. I don't know what they've done. We're gonna have to look at that when the time comes to assemble it, because I didn't like the wiring here. There was way too many wires, relay that was unplugged. I don't know what it does. The car was running without it, so I don't know why there were so many wires here. We're gonna try to simplify the wiring when the time comes, but for now we're just gonna get rid of it. Here I need to pull out the motor and see why they have it mounted in this way. They added this additional bracket here, and the wiper motor was mounted on this hole and this hole. So it's interesting. I'll have to see what the reason for that is, and we might need to leave it like this, which I don't like, but if it's needed, right? Anyway, so there's this here too, which I have no idea what this is. I actually got contacted by the previous owner and he explained some stuff to me, but I don't remember actually what he said about the wiring, so I might go and find out. And once we strip it, we're gonna get rid of all the fiberglass again, because the bottom of this box is entirely fiberglass. I don't know if you can see from here, but yeah. It's transparent. But we have a new box for here anyways, and this is an area that is prone to rust all the time, so here we need to finish a little bit of the bulkhead and make a piece with a flange here, then spot weld it. We're gonna trim everything. On this side somehow I finished it, but we also have to weld around here and grind it nicely. The dog lost his toy there, you see? Good boy. He's looking at me, he's like, what did you expect, huh? Anyway, so let me get rid of all that. I'm not gonna hold you here, and then we're gonna clean it and we're gonna see what the real damage is. Right? Right. Well, I didn't expect this part to be one of the hardest. I have so many problems here, it's crazy. So I was able to pull out all the wires inside. I still have to disconnect them from wherever they are connected to. I don't know, like it's total spaghetti, but I know that we're gonna figure it out when we have to put them together. That's not a problem. So at least we got rid of them from the front of the car. But then I tried to remove the windshield wiper mechanism. This side came out okay, no problem. The problem with this is that this is actually metric, it's 20 millimeters, and I have 19 and 21 deep sockets. I have 20 millimeter socket, but it's shallow and it doesn't fit here. The Imperial ones don't work at all. 3/4 is too small, 13/16 is too big. So you need 20 millimeter socket. So I'm using adjustable wrench, trying to get to remove them, but this one is totally stuck. So I soaked it in WD-40 and I'm waiting. Next, the windshield wiper fluid tube is totally covered here by the fiberglass, so I can't remove that. We're gonna get there. Then the heater from inside, only one bolt came out. There's one more here and two more here. I don't know what happened to them, but but the socket just spins freely around them. I thought maybe they used metric bolts, so I used a 10 mil. No way. I can't put it there, so I don't know what happened here. We're gonna figure that out if I have to cut a slot here and then use my impact screwdriver to take them out. Maybe, we'll see. And then last but not least, the throttle shaft here. Throttle shaft or throttle pedal shaft. Here there's one of these pins inside and I can't push it out. The bottom end is sticking down, but I can't pull it with pliers. So I don't know, I'm hammering here and hammering, doesn't want to go. I took a drill bit, and a drill bit and I tried to drill through. It's hardened, so I can't drill through it and I'm stuck. So a simple task like this, like just stripping the firewall, turns out to be a complicated task as well. Anyways, I'm gonna figure it out, but just got frustrated and I wanted to show you all the problems that I'm having here. Okay, you're right. I'm wrong here. My problem here is not that this is metric and I don't have the correct socket. The problem is that this is actually an octagon, it's not a hex. I was able to lift it up by splitting this spacer from underneath, which spacer costs a few cents. That was the easiest solution. I just split it in two and I was able to raise it and grab it with vice grips, and with the adjustable wrench now I was able to start moving it around. So I'm gonna take this out. That's done. Here I was able to take this out. Don't ask how. I was able to. And the only problem now I have is this pin here. I can't, I literally can't take it out. Here, I broke my punch. This one is too small, this one is too big. So anyways, I think we're just gonna have to work around this shaft. I'm not gonna take it out. I was thinking maybe I can just cut it here, take it out. This part is gonna go that way, and then I can somehow take this out on the press and then weld it. But you know what? I'm just gonna work around it. I don't think I have too much repairs to do around here, so it can stay. I don't know where to start from. Wow, we might even be able to take out the hose. Yay. Okay. Okay, wow, that takes a lot of time. Scraping all this, whatever they sprayed here. I cleaned up mostly here, started scraping here. I'm using my heat gun and a scraper, and the rest we're gonna just wipe with paint thinner later. but it's hard to reach everywhere, especially here and here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start getting rid of these gussets now, and I uncovered the spot welds wherever I could find them. So when we remove these four, I'm gonna have more access to keep scraping here. I still have to do here and here. It's crazy. I'm just gonna go all the way through the spot welds, and then we're gonna weld the holes if we decide to keep this metal underneath, which I think is salvageable. Okay, look at that. Why did they mangle it like that? Anyway, one out, three more to go. Dun dun dun! They're all out. So it wasn't easy, especially here in the corner, to drill these, but we drilled them, they're out, and now before I continue cleaning, I'm actually gonna take out also the remainings of this battery box here. So I'm gonna have to find all the spot welds around the perimeter, drill those as well, take this out as well, and then we're gonna continue with the cleaning. But we're making progress. There you go. I wonder if we should repair this one and reuse it. Just kidding you. We have a new one. Okay. Well, surprisingly the metal around it is not too bad. On my Spitfire it was a mess. So I'm gonna continue cleaning here now the black gunk that was sprayed. Alright, so I was able to remove most of the gunk from the bulkhead and over there just by scraping it and spraying it with paint thinner and wiping it, and yeah, it came out, most of it. So now I'm gonna go with a wire wheel and try to remove the rest of it. Like from here, for example, you see there's areas where it's still there, so we're gonna try to make it nice and smooth, and I guess then we're gonna start with the repairs. There you go. I managed to clean it everywhere. I managed to clean also the paint. You know, with so much rust in areas and areas without paint, and if I left the paint in other areas, it was gonna create a very big difference of the height. So it wasn't gonna look nice, I'm sure. So I went ahead and I cleaned it all. There are some areas like there and in tight corners that I couldn't clean it perfectly, but it is enough. I'm sure that with few coats of primer and paint, everything is gonna look nice and smooth. Maybe in some areas we're gonna have to use some body filler, like here maybe this we're gonna straighten. But there's some areas where the metal is pretty pitted, so we're gonna have to use some body filler there. But I believe that in this part all the way to here, I'm not gonna need to repair anything other than welding these holes in and putting inside the new battery tray, etc, etc. Well, there's something here, like you see there's a crack here and this is bent, so all the repairs are in this area, so that's actually a relief. I'm thinking whether I should go too far here, and I think I shouldn't. I mean, this is pitted a little bit, but it's not that bad, so I might just repair this, and then cut it from here and repair this side, and of course a strip there. I don't know why it is rusted here. That's a weird spot, but anyways. I pulled out the cotter pin from here and I was able to push this away so I can clean at least this side nicely, and I was able also to clean around the shaft in this area, so I don't know if I'm gonna try to do something here or not. This pin is really seized inside. So anyways, that's where I'm at. I think next we should start with the repairs here. Alright, so the damaged part is out, I believe, most of it. There's a little bit more pitting here, but I don't want to go higher than that, I think. Here, these holes we're gonna weld, these are where the spot welds were for this gusset. Here too, I didn't realize there was a bracket behind it, that's the steering column bracket, and I cut through it, so we're gonna have to weld it here. I'm gonna make it in two pieces. I'm gonna make this long strip here first, and then we're gonna make this. I also cut this lower here because I realized that there was a hole underneath, so this part was also rusted. This one is solid, so I kept this one, but this one I cut off because you see there was rust underneath, so I'm gonna have to rebuild this first and then put the one on top. Here too, I cut it too close, but the top metal was damaged here, so it's gonna be right under this top weld, so if we leave a bigger gap here, we might be able to weld top and bottom at the same time. Anyways, let me make a part for here first. Alright, so I made this part, which pretty easy to make, so didn't show you how I made it, but I made it. And I made it a little bit bigger, of course, so now we're gonna have to mark it. Maybe shorten it here a little bit, only in the top end, so it can go, well, I don't want it to go too much this way. Yeah, we said we're gonna leave a bigger gap here so we can weld everything together. So that's how we're gonna leave it, like this. So let me cut it like a glove. Okay, so I even drilled the holes here for the plug welds. So now let the welding begin. First I'm gonna weld this cut here that I made. I'm gonna grind it, and then we're gonna place it there, clamp it, and weld it. Okay, this is welded and ground down, and I painted it with weld through primer because we're not gonna have access later, and this here too. The rest I'm gonna paint later from underneath. Alright, it's so tacked. I took my time, and everywhere I tacked I made sure that it's lined up perfectly, but we will see when we start grinding it. Anyways, everywhere. Here I started from deep down there to weld the other gap, and I filled it up with weld on top, but there's a lot of sludge underneath here, and that was burning, so my weld sucks. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of pinholes here, so we're gonna have to, after we grind it, we're gonna have to re-weld it again. Even here, you see, it looks like I didn't have gas, but I did have gas, but because the sludge from underneath was burning, my gas was contaminated. So it looks like I welded it without gas. Anyways, so I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit, and then I'm gonna start welding it again very slowly, a little bit here, a little bit here. I'm even gonna go and start welding these and these here and maybe there. So I'm gonna be jumping back and forth everywhere so I don't overheat it, because that's a very long seam here, and it might warp on me, which we don't want, right? So slowly we're gonna weld it. All right, it's welded mostly. so everywhere it's welded, even here. This part here is very thin, so yeah, I'm gonna have to change a lot of it. So we're gonna cut something, like maybe we're gonna go up and down all the way to this weld here, and like this. We'll see. We're gonna have to make a template for this opening, but other than that, everything else went pretty well. All the holes from the spot welds are now welded here too, so now somebody needs to grind them, but I don't feel like grinding though. Especially in these areas where it's not flat. So let's procrastinate a little bit more and make this part for here. Okay, I found a piece of scrap and I bent it 90 degrees. So now we just need to stretch here this flange so we can curve it this way. And I'm gonna mark the curve needs to start from somewhere here, goes around, the wheels on the bus go round and round, and ends somewhere here. Have to be careful here not to scratch my baby. I think I made it too sharp, but we'll see. I remember when I did this repair, this same repair on my Spitfire, I made notches here and I bent it because I didn't have a stretcher at the time. I don't think I even knew that stretchers existed anyways. Yeah, I think I overstretched it here, but I stopped it too early here, so I'm not even gonna test it. I'm gonna open it here where it's the most, and I'm gonna shrink it, and now we're gonna stretch it here, more here. Okay, I think that's good. Let's see. Pretty good, eh? I think my girlfriend and the kids are coming home and he's getting excited. Right. So here I'm gonna cut it, and I'm gonna cut even the black mark off, even though when I put it here the mark is out, but this is gonna have to be pushed in this way and in this way. So I'm gonna make it shorter here. This means I'm gonna cut even the mark off, but here I'm gonna cut below the mark. I'm gonna have a little gap here, but big deal. We're gonna fill it up. Like a glove. Okay. Actually, it fits really well. I'm surprised. From the first bend, I lifted it higher, and that opened the bigger gap here underneath. So I ground it a little bit too much, but that's fine. See, the gap became a little bit too big. Well, it's not a little bit too big, it's okay. This is a little bit too big. We're gonna fill it up. So yeah, here the gap is big too, but it's the same level as here, so that's how we're gonna weld it. Okay, I ground just a little bit. I'm still not ready to grind everything. I ground only here, here, and just shaped this a little bit because what's next? Let's make this piece for here so we can close this area. Then we're gonna still have to patch here and here and there. And there are a few holes I know around that I need to weld there as well. Here and here. And we're gonna be done. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm forgetting about this whole thing here and the 4 gussets. Yeah, we're gonna get there. I didn't show you the weld, did I? Yeah, we filled up the gap. It's not a big deal. Just added more to the grinding list. So for this, I kept this old piece, even though it's like, maybe we should take pattern from here. Yeah, we will take pattern from here. Oh my god, this also needs to be straightened. Anyways, let's take pattern from here and make a piece for there. Well, I was hoping that this pattern that I have already was gonna work, and it's pretty close, but it's not. This is the pattern for here. So I'm gonna make a new one. I know, it's pretty big, eh? So I cut this to shape and I cleaned it up. I cut a piece of sheet metal, so that's how it's gonna go on the car. That's the side, that's the front, and that's how we marked this as well. This was parallel to the front edge, upside down. So now this is my side, this is my front. Okay. It's important to make the curve here. Here and here it's easy, you know? So, let's start. A little bit at a time, not too much. Okay, I think that's it. Now for the rest, I have to move it. Well, it's not the best template that I ever made, but I don't think I'm gonna need it soon again, so it's a one-off. There's a little bit here that I need to weld. Okay. Action fits good. Okay, so now we just need to mark it. That's gonna be tricky to mark from underneath. I don't see anything. It looks like we marked it. Of course, I'm gonna cut it a little bit wider first, and then we're gonna creep to the real shape. It's rocking. See, when I put this side, fine, this side is out. When I put this one in, this one comes out. And no, that's not because we made the wrong shape. This needs to be shaved. Maybe it is the wrong shape, but we're not gonna change this, we're gonna change that. Okay. Now we need to go that way more. That's good now. But now it's hitting there. So we need to shave it a little bit here. Perfetto. Tutto è perfetto. There you go. Brand new. Okay, but you know what, guys? I love sitting here and chatting with you, but I need to go and save the world. Apparently, I just found out that it is ending. I went to the fridge and there's no more beer. The world is ending. I need to go save it. Okay, crisis diverted. Going home now. I almost got a heart attack. Alright, it's the day after. Last night we diverted the crisis. So I sprayed here with weld through primer. I sprayed here and drilled holes for plug welds. I know I can do spot welds here, but it's easier for me to make plug welds. Let's do plug welds. It's easy to grind them here. I also shortened this flange, made it even, made it the same as this one, and now we can actually weld it. That's a lot of grinding that I'm gonna have to do later. Yeah, that's what procrastinating leads to. Anyways, I'm gonna turn on the time-lapse mode and let's weld everything, let's grind everything, and then repair this tree that we still have to repair, because that's a lot of grinding. Alright, that was like nightmare grinding. It's so hard, especially here in the back and everywhere. Everywhere it was like really hard to grind, but I think it was worth. I still have to do a little bit of filling holes and stuff, like here where I told you that was really porous welding. So we're gonna have to fill these holes, and I think there were some more somewhere. I think here we're gonna find all the pinholes and we're gonna weld them. But in general, I think we did a good job here. It's a little bit more solid than what it was before. So you know that the repair is not done here in this area. We still have to repair here, 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 and install the two gussets around the brake pedal. We need to drill holes here similar to these. We need to have the same ones on this side for the clutch master cylinder. We need to come here and weld all over here and grind it nicely. We still need to make a patch for here and trim this here and this here. On the other side, we only have to weld this. Everything else is done. I believe we still need to spot weld here. Some more holes on the bulkhead need to be filled. We need to drop the battery tray here and put the two gussets on the side, and I believe that's gonna be it for the bulkhead. Oh, we have a little repair here to do. You see, this is cracked. I don't know why this cracks all the time, but you know what, I'm gonna go with the video here because it's becoming too long, and also we have so much more to do here, so there's no sense of waiting to complete everything to go with the video. I believe we have a good amount of material for another episode here on the bulkhead. So with that said, guys, I'm not gonna show you my face this time because it's super dirty. All the sparks were coming into my face. Well, why not? Let me show you. Bah. Well, I don't know if it is dirty, but I can feel all kinds of dust on it. Yeah, anyways, so With that said, guys, I want to thank you again for watching, for commenting, for subscribing, for sharing, and for supporting the channel financially, because that's really important to me. That allows me to spare time from here in the garage and sit on the computer and edit videos, because editing videos takes time, and that time, if I rely only on the YouTube revenue, it sucks. Don't tell anyone. So thanks to you guys, thanks to those who decided to support me financially. Now this time is not a dead time for me, and I can afford spending more time on the computer to edit videos. So I really appreciate this support. But even if you can't afford it or you don't feel like it, you still have full access to all the videos. There's no such thing as early access or limited access only for Patreon and stuff. No, everything is available to everybody, because I don't want to take away anything from anyone. If you feel like supporting me financially a little bit, that would be only because you want to say thank you and just because you feel like it. So anyways, I'm rambling, so thanks for watching again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.